I mean, just from spending time, over here, basically. I mean, there wasn't any one particular person that I based it on.
Not me.
Question.
He doesn't even. You hardly say anything anyway. It's
a silent act.
It's like, my favorite line in the movie is when he just says, "What?"
75 takes.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't worry particularly about it. They don't like to be typecast, but I mean, the thing about not being actually the blood, I mean, there's a nice shot of me shooting down and my head smashes against the ground and a big lump of brain comes out. That's not too bad. So I didn't feel left out.
And he did that in one take.
I did. And I supplied my own brain. But no, I mean, it's just I mean, to work with Tim Burton, Johnny, and the rest of the cast on playing a disgusting, fat, ugly, sexual pervert who thinks he's rather lovely looking. Whether it makes me typecast or not, or whether it comes from the soul, I don't really mind. It was an opportunity I couldn't really miss. Typecasting.
As far as the holster, it seemed the safest area to put the razors. Did I have fun playing with the razors? Yeah. No, that honestly, the killing of everyone was, that was sort of the easy part. The most difficult bit was actually lathering them up and shaving them. That's the part that freaked me out most.
He was
Ellen
sweating.
Can attest to that.
I asked him to give me a Brazilian, he wouldn't.
And I did, I did.
Still itchy.
Weirdly not. Maybe it should have been. But, I was pretending. But, no, it is odd. I was being paid by my boyfriend to fall in love with his best friend. So it's a strange situation, but it's all right. We handled it.
Incestuous business. Yeah.
That's funny because initially, early on, when Tim and I talked about Sweeney, the idea of doing it, that 50% of the job would be done before you ever stepped on the set, as opposed, with the recording of the vocals and stuff, and then you'd go in and lip sync to the things, what we thought. But oddly, it's sort of, and these guys know, as well as I do. You go into the recording studio, you sing your guts out, record the stuff, do it as best you can, then you get on the set. We thought we were going to lip sync, but in fact, the only way to do it is to kind of belt it out once again on the set, which is extremely mortifying because everyone's very, very close, and you just feel like an idiot.
Very painful for the crew, but
yeah.
You all had email.
No, because you can't just lip sync, because you see the throat, you see the breath. I mean, they all had to, every take kind of belt it out.
But it was oddly liberating, just the music, having music on the set, the whole thing. It was interesting. It was like Tim said, it felt like you were doing a silent film in a way.
It was very enjoyable for me to see, we had music on the set, and everybody just moved different. I seen them act in a way you never see before, the way just walking across the room or sitting in a chair, picking up a razor, making a pie, whatever. They all did it in a way that was just, you could sense was just different than if there hadn't been music. Well, I mean, I still do little things, so I just have a little backlog of stories, and when I get enough of them, I'd like to do another book like that, because it's quite fun to do, and so, so there's between projects, kind of working on it. Yeah.
No, I didn't really pursue anything with Doctor Who, but the Fat Show was in my opinion, one of the most brilliant things I've ever seen in any way, television, theater, whatever. It was a brilliant show. So that I, when it was mentioned as a possibility, I actively pursued. I went after Whitehouse. I stalked him. I was sitting outside a tree outside his bedroom window with a funny mask on, and that's how I got the job, basically. No, I didn't do that for Doctor Who. No.
Well, I mean, it was an amazing thing that a studio, you go, we're going to do an R-rated musical with lots of blood, with no professional singers, about a serial killer and cannibalism, and they go, great. It's like, that was unheard of. I've never had that happen in my life before. So that gave me hope that there are still people in Hollywood that are willing to try different things. So that was a very positive thing. And at the first meeting I went into, I said, there's just, blood is a part of the story. Because I'd seen productions where they tried to skimp on it, be more politically correct, and the productions really lost something. So, those were the first things I said to them, and they accepted it. And in terms of, the show is like 3 hours long, and we just, we weren't out to film the Broadway show, we were out to make a movie. So we tried to keep the pace like those old melodramas, and because it's such a simple story, you kind of get what the story is, so it felt like the pace needed to be, more what it is. And, Sondheim himself is not a real big fan of movie musicals, so he was really open to kind of, trimming it down and honing it down to a more pacey